I saw, what truth did I see that made me change my perspective on our criminal justice system? And this is how it goes. So a person of color in the United States during the Jim Crow era faced disenfranchisement, second-class citizenship, barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, and barriers to housing. Then in the United States, we passed the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the 1965 Voting Rights Act, that said that we can no longer do this, discriminate, based on skin color. 21, what is the only label that we can legally discriminate against, that we can legally disenfranchise, relegate to second-class citizenship, have barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, barriers to housing? If you guessed right, in 2021, convicted felons are the only people we are allowed to legally disenfranchise. Now, do you believe it's a coincidence that 1 in 3 African American males now carry this label of convicted felon, as opposed to 1 in 17 white males that carry this label of convicted felon, to legally be disenfranchised? If you answered yes to that question, let's look at what's happened between the Jim Crow era and 2021. We've had a 700% increase in our United States prison population. We've gone from 300,000 inmates in 1970 to 1.8 million today, and as high as 2.3 million. So in spite of crime rate dropping, our prison population skyrocketed. And it was because we had the law and order agenda. And the law and order agenda increased police spending, but decreased our education funding. And by doing so, we created the school to prison pipeline. We also created the war on drugs, which we now know is a war on people. In 1986, we passed the Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which differentiated between powder cocaine and hard cocaine, which we now know disproportionately impacted people of color. We also had the 94 crime bill with the Truth in Sentencing Act, which led to higher incarceration rates and harsher sentences for people of color. And once I saw all this, my perspective changed, because I know that Jim Crow era never ended. Racism never ended. It just evolved into what we now have as the new Jim Crow, modern day slavery.
Church.
Yeah, so I just had to. I had to play that, and, that was a white man too. Like I said, he came to the realization. You know what I'm saying, of some things, and so
and as the resident convicted felon, all of that shit is facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so to speak on that, Blaze, because you've gotten some of your rights back. How did you navigate that?
Like what?
I thought you said you could vote.
They say that, but like it's literally like I can't do shit. Like like when I was trying to get jobs, I couldn't get hired. Like I couldn't rent apartments. Like I can't travel when I want to. Like
I wonder why that is. It's amazing.
I ain't never voted. So
I thought you were rehabilitated and you can get back into society.
That's what they say.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But let me but what I'm trying to ask you,
like I'm saying, like it's like what you say is facts. Like it don't, like I'm not allowed to do shit as a convicted felon.
No, I thought you maybe I misheard you. I thought you told me recently you was getting your right to vote back.
Shit, I don't know when.
Okay, I must have misheard you. That's why. No, okay, no, it's all good. I was just curious. You know what I'm saying? You got the right to do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I was just curious. I thought you did mention that before in the past. I guess I was wrong.
Nah.
Okay. So but. Okay, so outside of that, even though all that stuff is true, let's talk about how you've navigated to make your life better, so you can.
Oh no, well you gotta see, like you either gotta find ways around it or work within the system or go back to doing the bullshit that got you in trouble in the first place, and that's the route most people, because it's so hard. Like it's difficult. It ain't easy.
Yeah,
like to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To work around everything. So motherfucker gotta figure a way out.
And like I said, you figured that out. So like, what was the first thing you did
I started working for myself. I started my own business.
Right.
Like that was the only way I could make enough income where I didn't have to do nothing else.
Right.
Or because I couldn't go get a job. Like I would go get a job. Like I had great interviews, resume good, all that shit, and then they'd be like background check came back. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Like either I wouldn't hear from, or I get an email like, "Hey, just."
Did you have any? Did you have anybody though that like since you've been going on through the journey? Did you have anybody that like actually like looked out for you, that actually gave you an opportunity?
Yeah, and that's how I like, you know what I'm saying? With here, yeah. In Phoenix, yeah.
Okay.
In Milwaukee, that shit wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I figured this.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So you had to start a business. So when you started your own business and you legitimized yourself, what was the first step you took? You formed an LLC, a corporation. What did you do?
Yep, facts. Yeah.
No, I'm
Shout
actually
out to HP.
Yeah.
No, that's what I did. I had to do everything myself.
Okay.
From the ground up. Just figure it out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I was going, be back to doing regular shit.
Do you think? Let's say, because do you think with technology and stuff, it made it easier for you now to navigate that and do some, and start your own business and everything? Because do you think, I'm pretty sure if this was 2001 over again, it would have been a lot harder for you to start a business. And you probably would have found yourself back into some of your old habits. So, like, as far as like, probably, yeah. Do you think technology helped you out at all?
Well, I think technology helped out in every aspect. So I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. I just want to, because a lot of times we look at the problem, and I'm kind of, want to have a solution-based thought process when it comes to this type of stuff, because these problems, they not going away in our community. You know what I'm saying? They're not.
But what I'm saying, like, it's not easy to, like, you got to have working capital to even start a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you ain't got that, then what you gonna do? Because if you go somewhere you can't get a job and you ain't got money to begin with, you can't rent a place in your name. You can't do all of this stuff. Like, what you supposed to do? Like, so that's how most people end up. That's why recidivism's so high. Because, like, what else you supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this also goes to, when we talk about the lack of black men available to, single black women and whatnot, like, and women saying that, they don't have time for to build a nigga up, or so to speak. I'm using somebody else's term. This ain't something I would say, but like, so when you dealing with somebody like that, you got to give them chances, or you got to understand the situation to have some kind of like empathy towards it. Correct? I would think that women you deal with, they have to have some time. I mean, I know you a whole different breed of man, but you would think that somebody else in your situation, they got to have.
I don't even tell them. They don't even
ask. They don't need no shit about you, huh?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
No,
it's
but
not your business.
Mm-hmm. No, but I'm just saying, because I like I said, man, it's a lot of healing that we need to do in our community. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to have the thought process of, like I said, being solution based. So, like I said, when we come to these issues, when it comes to like a convicted felon, because I know a few, you know what I'm saying? But like, real talk, like, they made mistakes when they was younger, but they some well-meaning brothers at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to figure out how we can, as a community, we can fix some of these issues and things to be aware of when you're dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? As a man or as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because that was why I brought up technology, because if a brother can get to his hands on a computer or an iPhone or something like that, you know what I'm saying, regardless of his financial situation.
Oh yeah, if you're a creative person, you definitely can figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna take some work, but it's just some things you can think about.
But the point remains the same. You gotta find a way for yourself, like, because that shit ain't nobody gonna give you nothing.
Yeah. As a let me ask you your thought process as a business owner now. Would you give a convicted felon a chance?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even like, my hiring process is different. Like, people used to come in for interviews and they be like all dressed up and nervous. I'm like, hey man, do you want to work or not? Like,
yeah.
I ain't asking nothing else. You gonna be here? Okay, come on.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Because I done been through that. I know how that shit is.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. So like I said, long as we, I mean, I know you conscious of it and you empathetic towards it because you've done that. But any of our listeners out there who might be looking to hire somebody or looking to help somebody, that could be an issue. But you got to show willing to work, because Montre,
for sure.
Montre, now you on the other hand, you a CFO. How has your hiring process been, or as far as your business, if you feel like sharing this at all? We're trying to help people in our community. Yeah. And I know you can't hire certain people in the field that you in, but I'm just talking about
like with our business, like, we do background checks, but they go straight through the state, and like, you can't be a felon, a convicted felon or anything like that. It's certain even misdemeanors you can't have. You know what I mean? Where the state will say no, you can't. So.
Okay. So as far as your hiring process, when you've helped people in our community, how's that worked out for you? Because I'm going to get both sides of it and talk about some of the if you feel like it, you know what I'm saying. Talk about some of the things that you look out for, or would like for people to show up when they actually come to you for an opportunity?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've actually had I've had some positive and a lot of negative, with trying to put on people from our community and things like that. So, I have one person, he actually from where we from, and he's been phenomenal. And you can just tell, but he in a different space too. He married with kids, so he gonna get to that money. Anything you need, he'll wake up at midnight, go over there. You know what I mean? But
I hear you, Trey, but I don't even think that's particular to our community because people just don't want to work now, man. Like I can't tell you how many people done been through my business where they'll work for a little bit and
listen. I said some positive and some negative. The negative way worse than the positive. For real. Like I'm serious. Like where it's just you be like, man, like you try to help people out and it's just like you try to help your people out and they kind of like stab you in the back and things like that. So it's just like, man, I'm kind of 50-50 with it. You gotta have them credentials come work for me.
I think that's just everybody though. Like especially like since like what I noticed like
especially people that don't look like
during the pandemic like like people just don't want to work no more, like for real.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think about the historic ramifications of these jobs, man. Like everybody know me. I work for the government, man. Like this is one of the most toxic, terrible working environments I ever had. But the job ain't bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like they treat you like shit. Like you know what I'm saying? So to speak. You know what I mean? And what I've noticed is these tech companies. Kendall's in tech, so he can even quantify this statement.
Racist. Go ahead.
Outside of racism, but I mean like, I mean like the working environment though. It's a lot more relaxed than some of the because these people, man, they wanted you to do everything under the sun for a little bit of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't care if you even got a $20 an hour paying job, man. Some of the shit that they want you to do and the way they want you to show up just be ridiculous sometimes. So these companies have gotten away historically with taking advantage of their personnel, and people when the pandemic hit, people realized what was important.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And they realized that it wasn't these fucking jobs. So, like, it is hard. It's hard to get people that want to work. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if your company is structured properly, you can get some quality personnel. Is what I'm saying. If your
I just pay more.
I mean, but that's what you need to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
Like I fought for my promotions. It wasn't like they was like, "Hey, guy, you want another one?" Nah, I had to leave a team to get the fuck what I was supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to do that twice in my career. Shit. So, you got to push it. Otherwise, if you don't push it, they ain't gonna give you shit. They don't care.
Absolutely.
They'll give you all that work. They was trying to give me a workload and have me lead a team without giving me a senior promotion. What do you think I did? I left.
Uh-huh. As you should.
Then I made them promote me to professional, and then I left that team 4 months later and went somewhere else. Fuck out of here.
You should.
Absolutely. And just got another raise last week. Fuck out of here. Y'all niggas suck my dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think oftentimes.
No, but that's just knowing your value though. You know what
that's
I'm
it.
Yeah.
But that's what, to your point, Blaze, that's what we need to be also pushing. If you go, when we help each other and all that type of shit, it's cool to build the job skills and all that. But the first thing that needs to be built is that confidence, because them niggas' confidence has probably been shit for a very long time. So that's really where it starts.
Especially if you've been hearing no every time.
Exactly. You've been rejected all this time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never forget this shit. This is when I was still living in Milwaukee. I was at Walmart and I was buying some shit and I had to wait for somebody to bring that shit out of that little room in the back. And I was standing there next to a dude that was filling out a job application. This nigga was in his 40s and shit. And he was just like, I could just see it. Like he was just looking distraught. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you good, bro? Y'all know how I am. He's like, yeah, man, I'm all right, man. I'm just, been struggling trying to find this job, man. I think he was a convicted felon. I ain't really go too much into it, but he, said he was locked up for a time. And he was like, man, I'm just, just trying to, find something. And I said, man, just keep moving and keep building the way that you're doing. I said, something bound to happen. He's like, man, I'm just tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, every time I try to move forward, I keep getting rejected. And it's just sad. Like, everybody need an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? At least at some point, any job that you get, your skills don't mean shit a lot of times. They gonna train you any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? I'm in cybersecurity, fam. I don't have no extensive cybersecurity experience. I got this shit because I kick the damn door down because I was forcing shit. You know what I'm saying? Once I got into that space,
you could have all the skills in the world, but you're not even gonna be considered.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like you could come in and turn that shit around. You could be cold. They
gonna get you up out of there
right away.
Hey, I'm telling you, like that's not always the case. So that's why confidence is always super important to me. Like you got to build that shit early. Otherwise, you're going to deal with so much, but because you deal with a lot of rejection when you're trying to move up through a corporate ladder. Leslie could probably attest to some of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking about from a corporate space. Now, like I said, it might be different in different spaces from like trades and shit like that. But, self-made businesses, things of that nature, something I necessarily can't speak towards. But when you in them type of situations, you have to have that confidence because it's gonna come to you. You're gonna come across those people that's gonna, pull your card, so to speak. So that confidence got to be through the roof. You know what I'm saying? When you moving into those spaces.
You know what's funny,
Absolutely.
man? Like, because we sitting up here having this conversation about jobs and whatnot.
For a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. That's confident. That's probably a confidence issue right there. After you get out, like, damn, I ain't about to get shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I can't even imagine no shit like that, especially what Blaze went through. You know what I'm saying? And others, several others, hundreds, thousands of others.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. One in 81 Black adults in the U.S. are serving time in state prison. Wisconsin leads the nation in Black imprisonment rates. One of every 36 Black Wisconsinites is in prison.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
By design.
And who do you think the majority of that is, man? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the guy on TikTok already said it. It just made me think about something while we're sitting up here talking. Do y'all think the best route for a Black man is entrepreneurship in America?
It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, man, it wasn't no other way.
Mm-hmm. I think so because and Leslie, you could probably attest this too. I know you're on mute over there, but I want to get your input on this as well. But like I was having a conversation the other day, just talking about how easy it is for like we talk about emasculation and whatnot, but how easy it is for these corporate companies to fill their positions with Black women because y'all double minorities and y'all easier to get along with than a Black male. If you get somebody like of my ilk coming into a corporate situation and being my authentic self, it's not gonna vibe. And I'm not a huge proponent of code switching. I like to be authentically myself all the time. So as far as a Black woman going, do you think that when you are in these certain positions, are you only seeing women that look like you in those positions, in those higher positions, in back office positions?
I'm going to have to say no.
I forgot you in Milwaukee too. I had thought about that. It's a huge Black community.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, most of the time, especially in management positions that I've held, I've probably been maybe 2-3 Black people, and then I was always the youngest. Always been the youngest in management, and it took me a long time to even get to that level. I always got looked over because of my hairstyles or because I like to wear my long nails and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna change who I am. Just whatever. I'm just gonna keep busting my butt to the point to where y'all don't have a choice but to promote me because I know my stuff. New people are coming in. I'm always training somebody. So I don't be getting paid training pay. Like that's not a part of my job description to always train the new hire. So I need to be compensated accordingly for the extra work that that I'm doing. So it's definitely it's a struggle, but for me, I'm used to it. At this point, I know how to play the game. Definitely know how to play the role. I'm definitely the one to be taking my notes. Y'all take notes. I'm taking notes too. So on February 2nd, 2021, yes, she did do the same way y'all do us.
That's
I'm
right.
doing it too. Y'all got me messed up. No,
that's called CYA. Listeners, cover your ass.
Yeah, you got to now. These jobs is crazy, especially when you're in a position where it's already like, how did she even get this position?
Yeah.
I bust my ass to get this position. That's how Daddy didn't put in the favor.
Target on your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to speak, you are agreeing with me, but you've had some of the same issues that I was even talking about. Being your authentic self has kind of held you back a little bit because you wasn't willing to compromise.
Yeah. So I know how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It took some time because I was always younger, but now that I'm at the age that I am now, I know how to play the game, so I know how to get what I want and where I need to be.
Yeah, and by the way, we're not saying that that being your authentic self isn't isn't being professional. So like, of course
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but no, I'm just talking about. I want to clarify for the listeners because I don't want to think like all the we come in there with jeans on and walking with a certain swagger. No, none of that. We just talking about. Of course, we're gonna maintain professional, but being our authentic self as well in the process. Like you're talking about, she and I want to compromise our black culture to go along to get along. You know what I'm saying? And I see that a lot from Kendall too. I've been Kendall will not. He don't get no fuck. But you also but you also with a great corporation though that has a great
and Kendall in Atlanta too. So.
Right. That's another thing too.
Right.
But yeah, so that like hey, sometimes it pays to be around your folks. Some of them.
Absolutely. No, I mean that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like my manager just left. She just retired from the company and moved over to Nike. And already reached out to me like, what's your future like? What you trying to do? Like you trying to stay at AT&T? And I'm like, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if something else comes and I get another opportunity, I'll look into it. Otherwise, I'll chill. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not working for me, bro, I'm out. I'm not standing around no place that's not going to give me what I need. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I deserve this or I'm supposed to get this day one. Tell me what I got to do to move up in the ranks. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that shit. I have no problem working hard, all that shit. That's fine. I did all that. But I'm not going to just sit around for some pennies. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy. Like I'm too old for that shit. And like you said, it took a while to get to that point once I got the credentials that I needed. But now that I have them, give me that opportunity. And if you're not gonna give it to me, I'll go somewhere else. And that's why
somebody else will. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be persistent.
Yeah, I've always been a huge proponent of that. Like I said, if you had a spot and you don't see a room for growth, or if they ain't seeing your value, if you don't feel like your value is met, don't get down on yourself. Go find somebody that's gonna fit. That's gonna see your network. I mean, see your value. So that's why the importance comes with networking. You know what I'm saying? So you can move around.
That's the difference with like Kendall, where he can go in and drop his nuts on the table. Like, I want this. If y'all don't give it to me, I'll leave. And then, like, somebody, like a convicted felon, where
they can't
just
do
like,
that leverage.
Right,
I can't say shit because I need this job.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why, like when I just had a mentoring circle a couple weeks ago, some young kids, not kids, but they, 20s, early 20s and shit like that.
Well, they kids compared to y'all.
One of them was from where's his family from? Chile, I think he said. And then his but he's super Americanized, but and then the other dude was his family's from China, but he lives here. And the first thing I told them is don't be out here assimilating. Don't be thinking that you got to do all this extra shit to not be yourself and not embrace your culture. Don't come over here thinking you got to sign on to all these American ass ideals. Still be within the context of an American citizen and all that. I'm not saying shit on America, but bring your culture with you though. Don't bring it into your workspace too. Be who you are. Don't be in here just trying to, and all that extra ass shit just because you want to rub elbows and hug up together. Man, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me, bro. I'm a cool guy. I like to kick it. I like to shoot the shit. I like to joke. I like to talk to anybody. I have no problem with that. But what we're not going to be is not Kendall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not going to make me uncomfortable.
And people conditioned to think that's what they're supposed to do, though.
Because they will try it.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more thing. I'll give you this real quick story. This ain't going to take long at all. So I'm jumping in on this call, and it was two white dudes jumping in on this call. And I heard they must have already been talking. You know what I'm saying? You know how you join a meeting and that shit already still going on. You know, that type of shit.
Much like this podcast.
They like, as soon as I jump in, they're like, like they like getting quiet and shit. And I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? And they're like, hey Kendall, yeah. I was like, well, what are you guys talking about? They were like, oh, sorry, we were just talking about how strong of a name you got. And I'm like, huh?
Kendall's a strong name.
I'm like,
whoa, word, Jamal. Don't grab the 9.
Right. So I said, well, that's kind of interesting. There. I said, but I appreciate that. I said, because what's interesting about that is I really never have known any white men with the last name Washington. Dead silent. All right, Kendall, let's go ahead and move. Yeah, exactly. Let's get to fucking work. Fuck out of here, bro.
No, I'm dying. Dog.
Hey, that's true though. I ain't never been one.
Mm-hmm. Right, of course you won't, because it's a damn slave name. But we can move on. I'm not saying ain't no white Washingtons out here, but I'm just, come on, man, stop playing that damn game.
Damn, have I met a white Washington?
You ain't gonna find
I have not.
besides the president, but like you know, I mean,
you ain't gonna find them, bro.
Damn,
you rarely gonna find a Jackson. you rarely gonna find any of them motherfuckers, bro. Come on, man. Stop playing. It ain't that damn strong.
Dog, that's funny as a motherfucker, dog.
Fuck out of here.
Hey man,
but they were being rude. That's my whole point of saying this whole conversation. It ain't that damn strong, bro. Y'all know what y'all was talking about before I came on this damn call.
Yeah, that's a nigga name.
Come on, bro.
Right.
Stop playing that damn
that was
game.
probably on there. Like,
might as well.
Definitely had the right one.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
But and my point was saying that if you was willing to have that conversation about my name, then cool. But right after I said what I said, all of a sudden you quiet. Right. So clearly you didn't want to have that conversation. You just wanted to be disrespectful, and you thought I was gonna eat that shit alive. Hell nah. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right, man. Listen. Well, like I said,
sorry.
You good, bro. Well, I don't know. I just hope we left our listeners with some bits and pieces to think about. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, never compromise yourself. Continue to be who the fuck you are. Continue to be authentic to yourself. And and like I said, I don't compromise yourself for nobody, man. I don't care what it takes. But like I said, we gonna get to some more thought building in the later episodes.
We can do other episodes too about professional development. You know, you got Leslie on here, her resume expert ass. You know what I'm saying? So
listen. I just been trying to get settled, bro. I'm settled now.
Talk about that stuff. You know, I'm not coming down on you. I'm just saying, period. You know, if you want to expand on stuff like this, I don't mind talking about that kind of shit, bro. I did a lot. You know what I'm saying within that time. So
no, we
I get it.
No, we definitely gonna cover that. Like I said, I'm just letting the listeners know that we finna turn up on this production. Like I said, because I was just trying to get settled in my crib, man. I ain't 100% settled, but because y'all know how I am, I'm OCD as hell. I like
mini mansion,
right? I like to get things.
That motherfucker is not many.
A certain way. I'm sorry.
My room is ready.
Yeah, but
I'm moving in.
This nigga got an estate.
But when we listen, once we
estate.
y'all just gonna keep.
Wait,
on.
Is that a fish tank?
No, that's a theater screen behind me. But
sure, buddy.
But anyway,
you're embarrassing me, Kendall.
No,
settle down, Scarface.
Settle down,
You got a motherfucker. You got a lion. You got a lion chained in the back.
Nigga got a zoo.
And they be like, he be like, hey, Mittens. That nigga 600 pounds.
You in the theater room again?
Hey, nah, listen, y'all not gonna do
that lion roaring right now, hungry as hell.
Y'all not gonna do me like this, and y'all invited whenever y'all ready to pull up and get some food.
Niggas got gazelles.
Hey man, but listen, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, we building a community over here. I also would like to let anybody know. Damn, my shit's tripping. Anyway, I also like to let any of our supporters know, like anybody who's been a long listener to the podcast. If you would like to become a patron of our show, right? It's a link in the podcast description to support this show. I'm gonna let you know if you become a supporter of the show, every 6 months I'm gonna send y'all some merch. Brandon, I got your stuff coming in the mail shortly. Thomas, I got your stuff coming in the mail shortly. Like I said, I was just trying to get settled in a new crib, so like I said, but we all gonna be sending y'all little swag packages out to y'all. So so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, if you'd like to become a patron, but you got to become a patron. I'm not just doing it. You got to become a patron of the show. So yeah, and it's gonna be real special, exclusive stuff that you're not gonna see on our merch website. I'm wearing some exclusive unlabeled merch right now.